Welcome to the Plymouth Ice Center for a great girls hockey matchup tonight, as it's the top-ranked team in Class A, the Breck Mustangs, paying a visit to the Wayzata Trojans, ranked number 10 in AA. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Joe Moline, and for Wayzata, their second to last game of the regular season. They've got Eden Prairie Saturday, last game of the year for Breck. Breck, a state champion a year ago, and boy, they've had an outstanding year. They do have 5 losses, but all to high-level AA teams. They've shown they can play with the best in that class, and they're going to try and do it again here tonight.
Well, it's an incredible matchup. Lucky to be here tonight because you're seeing, again, best team in Class A, one of the best teams in AA. They both have incredible schedules. Wayzata comes naturally in their conference, but Breck loaded up. They want to be the state's best, and they've done very well against the state's best. They have tripped up a couple of times, but they've beat some good ones too.
Wayzata's coming in having won 4 games in a row, and their coach, or co-head coach Taylor Williamson, saying they're really playing their best hockey of the season right now, and their section is very difficult. We know that, but they've been tested down the stretch, and these last 2 games will give them an additional couple tests to get in ready for playoffs.
Yeah, what an incredible advantage they have with this schedule that they play during the regular season, but also down the stretch, back-to-back nights, really testing themselves against the state's best. It's really going to get them ready for the playoffs.
Let's talk about key players to look at in tonight's game. Obviously, there's quite a few good ones on both teams, but Olivia Mobley, wow, what a season she's had for Breck. Just some eye-popping numbers. She's averaging 3 points per game.
Yeah, you know, she's really poured it in. I mean, just last week, 5 goals, 3 assists against Chisago Lakes. That's a season for some players. I mean, that's an incredible night, and we're going to expect big things from her. And she's got such a great line mates around her, so she and her line mates can really put up some big numbers.
And for Wayzata, we're going to talk about one of their captains, since it's senior night here, a senior headed to Quinnipiac, Sophie Urban, one of 3 players with 20 goals on this Trojans roster. Yeah,
our featured players are going to be college teammates, and she this last couple weeks too, I mean, on fire. I mean, she's got 2 goals in her last 3 games, in each of the last 3 games, and she's going to have to have a big game here tonight. But again, they don't have quite the gaudy numbers, but they probably have a little bit that same kind of mentality where they can really go get it on any given night.
All right, we're going to jump into section play right away this coming week, but for now, it's a great regular season ender of our girls hockey telecasts on CCX. See who comes out on top. It's the Breck Mustangs and the Wayzata Trojans coming up next. Welcome back. National Anthem just completed here at Plymouth Ice Center as the Mustangs and Trojans get set to play. Kind of a little bit unusual, a Friday night contest here, but these teams excited to play each other, and I think they both have seen what the other have done against good competition and know that they're going to be in for good tests this evening and a good playoff preparation, as we said, for both sides. Wayzata in Section 6 AA and Breck in Section 5A, where they, I think it's fair to say, are a heavy favorite. The couple teams that are supposedly the next 2 best teams, Orono and Chisago Lakes, the Mustangs have put a pretty good whipping on both of them during the regular season, where Wayzata right now, they said they're looking at probably either the 3 or 4 seed in 6 AA. So these last 2 games do definitely still matter for where they'll be seated. Likely going to be Dinah Blake in the 1-2 spots for the 6 AA tournament. So we got a little bit of a contrast in terms of ages here anyway, as pair of number 30, Sarah Peterson's just a freshman, but has had a very good year stepping into this Mustangs lineup. Won a state title in U15 hockey last year. Wayzata's used 3 goalies, but Micah Bergeron kind of grabbing control of the net a little bit down the stretch, and it sounds like she's probably going to be their girl for playoff time. But we are underway here. Breck in the dark jerseys, and they immediately misfire on a pass and ice the puck.
Well, first period is going to be critical for the Trojans. They're a team this year, they don't naturally score a lot of goals, but this year they're outscoring their opponents 92-68. But in the first period, they're being outscored 22-19, so something to watch here tonight. Trojans need to get off to a fast start. You do not want to find yourself down a couple of goals against this high-powered Mustangs team.
Yeah, I think fair to say that if it's a real high-scoring end-to-end kind of game, that probably favors Breck a little bit. They've got a lot of top-end talent, and not that the Trojans don't, but more to the liking, I think, style-wise for Breck if it's a real wide-open type game. Off the draw, Mustangs trying to quickly spring Hannah Halverson up the right side. Halverson trying to go to the net. Nice back check there by Addie Hackley, one of the captains for the Trojans. And that shot attempt deflecting wide. Wayzata getting it out to center there. Hannah Halverson back to pick it up. Getting it ahead now to Sadie Lindsay. Lindsay carrying it in, drags it around the D. Ooh, and got a shot away. Bergeron had to make a save there. Wasn't much room left anymore for Lindsay, but still a good move. Played back out to center, and nearly a chance there for Gretchen Branton, but puck recovered by Hannah Halverson. Going now to Lindsay, and that one thrown wide of the net as Breck trying to finish up a change quick here. Dumped down toward the corner. Ali Scoro back to play it. Slams on the brakes here, but then had her stick lifted by Mobley. Mobley up with the turnover. Great move. Mobley puts it out front. Oh, and a swing and a miss at it, though, by Ashley Halverson. Mobley showing off her great skill there in stealing that puck and nearly setting one up for a goal. It's going to squirt out to center here where Isabella Brahma got it across, and the Mustangs right back on the attack. Little drop pass here, but chopped away. That one fired from a wide angle there by Josie Lang. Pretty good start here for Breck. They've been bottling Wayzata up in these first couple shifts.
Well, you can see the tremendous talent they have up front. Scoro for Wayzata, who's been on the ice now for a couple minutes at that left defensive spot. She first got beat by an incredible move and a toe drag, and then she got her pocket picked, and that's just a tough shift. But that's what kind of night you're going to face against this Breck Mustangs team. They have a lot of great forwards out there on the ice.
Pass picked up here by Sadie Lindsay, now swinging it ahead. Nice little drop off there for Ava Lindsay. It got away from her, but they do keep possession. Hannah Halverson dropping the pass back now to Ellie Kleppinger, walking in, shoots and scores. Breck is on the board early as they've controlled the early action, and Ellie Kleppinger will give the Mustangs the lead.
Kleppinger only with her 7th goal of the season, but you would think she's scored 30 by the way she confidently walks down into the slot here, finds a shooting lane, and then just buries it. I mean, just gets to that area that you want your players to shoot the puck, and that's right in that circle right there, firing a nice hard snapshot, and I love where she chose to shoot it too, that low blocker side.
Hannah Halverson and Sadie Lindsay get the assist on Kleppinger's goal at 2:26 of the first period, and so the early dominance paying off there for Breck in a goal. There's a slap shot going wide of the mark from Karina Schindler. So we'll see what Wayzata can do to answer the early Breck onslaught here. Played back out to the point. Schindler back down toward the corner with it. Kleppinger digs it out of there, but blocked by Branton and then stolen away there by Mallory Coffin. Sloan Matthews trying to keep it in along the wall, but it pops back out to center where Scoro will dump it in and head off on a change. Breck looking to quickly bring it back up ice. Mobley had to wait for it. It's knocked away from her, but they do get it into the zone again. Here's a chance, and Bergeron the save on Ali Qualley. Back down toward the circle, little spin move there. Now played around for Mobley. Mobley's kind of got it all, Joe. She skates well, great hands, but also pretty good size. I mean, there's a lot to like about her game. You can see why she scored 42 goals this year.
Yeah, she has a presence about her on the ice. You mentioned the size, the way that she skates at her size, very impressive. And then the way she's attacked the puck and gets after the defenders from Wayzata, she's a force.
I think maybe there's a tendency at first, you think like, you rack up big numbers playing in Class A, but look at their schedule. They have played a lot of really good hockey teams, and obviously, just the conference. Oh, there's a deflection goal out front, and it'll be 2-0 as Ava Lindsay sharp with the blade there. And Breck, that one looked like it was going to be relatively harmless, but she made a great deflection.
Well, right now you can see Breck has a jump in their step, and in girls hockey, checking not allowed. One of the ways you neutralize a speedy team that's taking good care of the puck is by checking them off the puck. Wayzata can't do that right now. Breck's winning the races to the puck, and then they are making smart plays with the puck. You have not seen them just throw the puck yet. Every play, they're looking to make the right hockey play there, get a shot on goal, get a nice little deflection, showing great hand-eye coordination out in front, and Breck is all over Wayzata here early.
Fagley and Hannah Halverson will get assists on Ava Lindsay's 14th of the season at 4:17, so less than 2 minutes apart. The Mustangs strike twice. Carried up the right side, and Coffin throws it in as Wayzata finishing a change. Trojans maybe a little stunned by what they've seen so far here. Breck coming out and getting after him pretty good in the early going. There's a bad turnover there at the blue line, but good job to recover there. Hannah Halverson broke it up, but another rush back the other way for the Trojans. Couple of Wayzata players going down there. Now the puck kept in along the line by Abby Prodal. There's a shot, rebound is loose. Oh, and they put it right into the goaltender, Peterson. A great opportunity on the backhand on the rebound, but half an empty net to shoot at, but they put it right into Peterson.
Yeah, Sophie Heyer's going to wish she had another crack at this one. Look at her get the rebound. It's a very tough angle. Puck's starting to bounce a little bit. It's a good effort getting the puck on goal. Nice recovery by the Breck goaltender, but man, those are the kind of breaks you need that kind of bounce back from this early 2-goal deficit, and they just couldn't quite make it happen.
Boy, and it's funny how different it looked. Seeing that replay, that was not nearly a gimme like I first thought. Long bank pass. Here comes Mobley to the net. She scores! 3-0 Mustangs. Just after the near miss for Wayzata, it's Breck turning it back the other way, and goal number 43 for Olivia Mobley.
Well, goal scorers look so naturally doing it, but this is a design play here. You're going to win the faceoff. You're going to bank it off that red line. You teach your defensemen to aim for that red line along the far side boards, and it was perfection. I mean, that puck was slowing down just in time for Mobley to catch up to that puck, get up to it, and they're going to take that puck out of play. It was a momentous goal there for Mobley, but gets that breakaway, and she didn't go top shelf on it, but she actually, the goaltender is getting ready for her to go top shelf, and that puck actually sneaks underneath the glove.
Zumwinkle and Qualley getting the assist, and now a chance for Gretchen Branton. Down she goes, penalty coming, and the shot attempt tipped. Mustangs have not yet controlled it, so our first penalty of the game is going to go against Breck for a trip, as Branton got herself going on a rush. It looked like they got back in position to fend it off, but...
Yeah, that's a tough trip call here. Zumwinkle, she takes her out on a scoring opportunity. It's maybe a penalty that does not get called if it's a 0-0 game, but a 3-0 game right now. It was a trip. Wayzata will go on the power play for the first time.
So 6:10, the time of the tripping penalty against Zumwinkle. So we'll see what the Trojans can do with the power play here. They feel like they've done, clicked pretty well in terms of getting their system in and playing it how they want to. And obviously, you'd always like to see the percentage be a little bit higher, but they feel like they've done a nice job of working the power play the way they want to and have it going pretty well. Sammy Hackley, had her pocket picked and thrown down the rink. Nice stick there by Shea Mesner.
Breck on the season, a penalty kill, killing off 85% of their penalties so far this year. They're a penalty kill that's going to be aggressive too. They're going to try to score shorthanded. Leaves you a little bit vulnerable, but they again have the type of players to go after it.
Yeah, Mobley herself has 5 shorthanded goals this year. Here's Scoro firing, stick save there as it bounces away. Boy, Wayzata could really use one here. Scoro firing and into the glove of Peterson. You can't, it's way too early in the game to be thinking it's kind of a must score, but I mean, they at least need to get some momentum out of this, I think. A little shell-shocked in the early going, I think. Off the draw, Trojans control. Schindler floating on toward the net. Ooh, and that one was a tough one as they were looking for the tip out front with Adalin. Now Scoro playing it down. Coffin sending it back. Scoro got handcuffed by that one and then chopped out by Mobley. Swing and a miss, trying to dump it all the way down though by Qualley. Here comes Scoro back in. Wayzata changing behind her. Drops the pass over to Ruby Moss. Top of the circle, a shot, and Peterson makes the glove catch. And so penalty time done as you look at Steve Persian. See the victory for Breck earlier this season, knocking off Andover, handing them their first loss. And then not terribly long after that, they kind of got the monkey off their back against their big rival Blake too. They lost the first meeting with the Bears, but got them the second time around. So certainly have had some good high-quality wins among their 19 victories. Here's a chance now for the Trojans carrying it in. So Wayzata, not a whole lot really went on that. Oh, we're going to have another penalty coming up against Breck, though, as Hackley had her stick chopped out of her hand. Maybe looks like an interference call against, is it Ava Lindsay that's going? I think so, yes.
Yeah, Lindsay just gets a good whack of the stick. I'm not sure why they call it interference and not slashing. I mean, you slashed the player without the puck, so you call it interference. And slashing tends to be a little bit more of an aggressive penalty that sometimes has a connotation with being cheap. She certainly wasn't making a cheap play there. It's one of those, you're making some contact with the player.
So Wayzata got maybe one decent chance off their first power play, but not a whole lot of action. Now it's put out front. Mustangs gain control, tried to play it right up the middle there to Kleppinger off the Wayzata defenseman's glove. Now carried on in by the Mustangs. A little 2-on-1 developing. Oh, and a short-handed backhander by Hannah Halverson. The 8th grader goes wide.
It was hard to tell if Halverson was trying to give it back to her or shoot, and then maybe she kind of did halfway in between each.
Urban to Sloan Matthews, a nice move, firing, and there's Peterson a save, a big rebound. Urban trying to get a shot away and then chopped loose. Matthews coming up with it, and we may have a slashing penalty coming up against Urban there. Yeah, she slashed the stick, kind of not that dissimilar to what we saw the other way. And I was wondering if they're going to call it. The official that was, in my line of sight closer to it didn't call it, but Urban will be whistled for a slash.
Well, I'm a big fan of the call because I don't like the fact that just because the other girl held on to her stick, sometimes referees don't call it a slash. And it's like, no, a slash is a slash. Because sometimes players get not rewarded for fighting through a hook when they obviously were obstructed from a hook. So I like the call there. Evens it up 4-on-4. A lot of open ice now for both teams.
Yeah, and you can see on that replay, it was definitely a good call. And I don't think it was one of those times where Urban didn't complain at all. She just went right to the box, so I think she kind of realized it too. 7 minutes to go in the first period. It's been a dominant start for Breck, the top-ranked team in Class A, as they lead 3-0, and that long bank pass just failed to connect for Qualley here. 4 skaters aside, and then it'll be a power play for Breck, barring any further penalties. Here's Mobley trying to walk through the D and met up there with Ruby Moss.
It's a great play by Moss, though. Just get in her way, right? Don't get the checking penalty, but get in her way in her space.
Mobley trying to drag that one to the net and almost got all the way there. Thrown back to the Breck blue line where Hannah Halverson grabs it. Penalty to Breck is just about to expire. Then they'll go on about a half-length power play as they are now on 5-on-4 advantage. Ava Lindsay. Puck knocked away and hammered down the ice there.
Well, the good thing for Wayzata is Qualley and Mobley headed to the bench there. They were out there for the 4-on-4, so they absorbed that, and now they don't have the top power play unit on the ice.
Largely with the aid of those penalties, it does feel like Wayzata's, kind of settled down and at least even the game out, but that's, maybe a little later than they would have liked for that to happen because they're already down 3-0.
Man, I have no idea if the shots on goal are accurate here in the arena, but they have Wayzata with 10 shots on goal. Doesn't seem like there's been that many for the Trojans as they're going to take another penalty here.
Matthews coming in and will be called for the trip, trying to win that puck. She did end up with the puck, but not legally so. So Sloan Matthews will go to the box. As you watch her right here getting the stick into the skate. Yep. On Josie Lang.
And as a coach, you absolutely hate those penalties. I mean, a trip almost 200 feet from your net is not a good quality penalty to take.
So it'll be briefly a 5-on-3. Wayzata's first penalty about to expire as Urban will be back out. Here's Mobley shooting, and that one deflected up over the glass, and then a pass across. Urban in the right spot just out of the box comes and plays that one down the rink. So now 5-on-4 here for the Mustangs. Approaching 5 minutes to go in the first period. It's been a great one for the visitors. Breck leading at 3-0. 3 goals in a span of just over 3 minutes. Allie Qualley up with it here. And Mobley was heading off. I think that pass was intended for her. Breck and there took a bad bounce. We saw that one area in the boys game I did here, Wayzata Eden Prairie, about a week ago, that there's one spot on the boards where there's crazy hops galore. There's a blocker save on the attempt by Ava Lindsay. Mustangs trying to get that power play set up once again. Slap shot here, and that one went off the shin pads there of Ashley Halverson as she was looking for the tip in front. Ava Lindsay picking it up. And that slap shot going wide of the mark. Trojans get to it but can't clear as Ashley Halverson stole it back. Now Hannah Halverson. And it pops out to center. They'll have to regroup here. 20 seconds to go in the power play here for Breck. They already lead it 3-0. Hannah Halverson weaving her way across ice here. And will dump it in deep. Trojans able to get it and clear it. A nice job by Addie Hackley. So that'll kill off the remaining penalty time here as Wayzata fighting through a couple of penalties there in a row. Mobley trying to maneuver her way around but couldn't get past Adala in there. That's going to be icing though against Wayzata, and we'll come back into the Trojans' end of the rink. There you see the Williamsons, Taylor and her dad Dean, the first-year co-head coaches in this Wayzata program. And Dean, many years back, was the Wayzata boys coach in the 1990s, and coming back into the coach with his daughter here, and I asked Taylor tonight, how has this first year been for you? And she just said, love it. Been fantastic. Chance out front here. Urban able to come up with it. Looking ahead to Branton. Ooh, and that pass went off Matthews. As Sophie Fagley, a sigh of relief that didn't result in disaster as her pass up the middle went right off of Matthews.
Well, I think what an incredible season for Dean Williamson to be able to coach with his daughter. I mean, in a week that in the sports world it became very big news, the relationship between dads and their daughters, and to have him coaching alongside his daughter, that's going to be a special year for both of them.
Back out top. Branton had it chopped away. Scoro dumping it in deep. Matthews first to it for Wayzata. It's funny because after about the first 5 minutes, this game has looked, much more even and probably more like Wayzata thought it was going to be. But boy, they just met into a flurry early from Breck, and 3 of them wound up in the net. Bank pass ahead here. Branton coming back to meet it. Finding a little space here, and then does a nice job dropping it over to Heyer. That shot sailing high and wide. Sadie Lindsay gaining control here. She's all alone for the moment as they're changing. Under 2 minutes to play now in the first period. Breck leading it by a score of 3-0. Circling the net here. Sammy Hackley looking out front, but couldn't really get it to anyone. Now the pass out high. Deflection goes wide. Puck picked up here by Lang. Mobley. Nice catch of that pass right up the middle. Olivia Mobley keeps possession. Now dropping it back out, and they come back for Mobley. Sliding it across, but that one didn't connect, sent back out, and Josie Lang picking it up, and right back they'll come. Ashley Halverson controlling, but ran into a back check there. Under a minute to go now in this first period. And an offside call here against Breck. 55 seconds remaining in the period here, and a 3-0 lead for the Mustangs. Kleppinger, Ava Lindsay, and Mobley getting goals.
Sorry about that, Jay. The biggest adjustment I've seen that Wayzata's made is just how much better they've been at their blue line. The entry for Breck is becoming so much more difficult since that third goal was given up. They're meeting Breck Mustangs at the blue line and making that entry difficult. And you see Breck a couple of times going off sides or having to dump it in when they would prefer to keep control of that puck.
Battle for it in front of the Wayzata bench, and Ava Lindsay there to pick it up. Lindsay into the circle, trying to slide the pass over there to her sister Sadie. Now under a half minute remaining in the first. Turnover here. Matthews has a chance to get it to Branton. Oh, just off the heel of her stick, or she would have been in alone. Still got a pass out front, but that one was blocked aside. We'll be hearing from Taylor Williamson in the first intermission here as we go under 15 seconds to play. Matthews gets control here for the Trojans. Peterson knocking that one off the glass, and we have reached the end of one period now, and it is the Breck Mustangs leading it by a score of 3-0. We'll be back with more of our coverage here on CCX.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover their unique mix of all kinds of traits.
Where'd Wiley go? Where's Wiley? Ah, there she is. Paw?
Do you remember being an ancient wolf? Do you ever feel the call of the wild?
You're a renegade cop, and I'm a con woman with nothing to prove. But together, we could really solve this murder.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but all of them are pure love.
Welcome back here to Plymouth Ice Center. Taylor Williamson, co-head coach for Wayzata, joins us, and they kind of put a little flurry on you there, but how did you feel like your girls responded?
Yeah, I'm proud that we were able to settle in, and so we have time here to reset and a lot of hockey left to play, so we'll be good to go. Just got to get back to playing our game, not allowing them to get those pucks to the net, and just make a few tweaks here and there, and then we'll be good to go.
Both teams took a couple of penalties. How much do you feel like that'll be a factor, the rest of the game, being able to stay out of the box?
Yeah, I mean, special teams always throw the game off because you're not getting normal shifts, you're not getting in a normal rhythm. So hopefully the refs let us go play a little bit more hockey here the second period. But obviously it's a game where you just got to go with the flow, and it's up to the girls to be resilient and just roll with what they're getting right now. So, yeah.
A tough test tonight and a tough test Saturday with Eden Prairie. How ready for the playoffs does your team feel right now?
Yeah, I mean, all week long we've been saying it's playoff hockey right now. It's a great test, and honestly, no better way to go into playoffs than ending the regular season with two really good teams.
Thanks for joining us. Good luck the rest of the way here.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, Taylor Williamson, co-head coach for Wayzata. Her team facing a bit of a flurry there in that little 5-minute stretch in the first period. They trail at 3-0 after one, but as she said, still plenty of time to go here as they try and battle back against Breck. We'll have more of our coverage here of girls hockey on CCX in just a moment from the Plymouth Ice Center.
Yo, Scott.
Hey.
I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Oh, you know what? I was just in there. The line is like 10 people long.
I think I'll just...
Dude, are you okay?
You wouldn't believe what I was just thinking. I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
Smart man.
Did you see how that dog was looking at me?
You're home before sunrise, on top of the house, the kids, and our future. The smell of your cooking is our alarm clock. My Shiro's day is never done. So let's start saving a little more now so we can feel prepared for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give us the personalized tips we need so we can live our lives to the fullest. Visit asiaretirement.org/Shiro.
Welcome back here to the Plymouth Ice Center. John Jacobson even making an appearance here for this big tilt. Breck leading Wayzata by a score of 3-0. And let's take a look at first period highlights in this one. It was quite a flurry early from Breck. They really kind of dominated those first couple shifts, and then eventually that domination ended up leading to a goal. There was a great chance early that was stopped. And then Mobley bringing it out front, a couple of hacks at it there, and they didn't get it to go in, but eventually there's chances started to go, including this one by Kleppinger walking into the circle, going stick side with a great shot there, right up over the blocker and in at 2:26. And then this deflection redirect by Ava Lindsay was a beauty as well. That was about 2 minutes later. And so 2-0, and they weren't satisfied with that. There's first of all, a couple of great chances in a row there. Stopped by Peterson. Breck again, probably, or Wayzata would like to have that one back. Let's win the draw. Zumwinkle banking it all the way ahead, and that's a helpless feeling for a defenseman when you realize that Mobley is going to be able to get to that puck, and she puts it away. A mere 43 goals this year for Mobley now after that one. See, the shots on goal to me seems a little bit misleading. I mean, Breck certainly had the better of the play for much of the period. I think a lot of Wayzata shots maybe from a little bit farther out, but we'll go with it, what they've got on the board. Breck with better scoring chances. We said a couple of penalties each. Coach Williamson kind of indicating she thought maybe things were called a little tighter than need be in that first period, but that's how it went, and each team getting a couple of power plays and not able to convert. So the period was much more even after that great start by Breck, but they did put 3 on the board, so they will take a 3-goal lead into the second. We will take a timeout and come back with that second period here on CCX Sports. Swimming?
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You'll also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV.
Welcome back to the Plymouth Ice Center. As you see, Breck taking the ice for period number 2 here, as quite a dynamite first period for them as they lead it by a score of 3-0. And Wayzata, kind of back on their heels and gave up some really good chances early, and a couple of them didn't go in early, but then the floodgates opened a little bit there. So trying to bounce back, and as we said, and talking with Coach Williamson there, that as the period went on, they certainly settled down a lot more and were able to, keep Breck from dominating as they had been. But kind of a big comeback needed here from 3 goals down. But with 2 full periods to go, they don't have to feel like they're out of it by any stretch. Battle for it along the wall here right near center ice. Ultimately, Branton pushes it into the Breck zone. Zumwinkle back to pick it up. Reverses it there for Kleppinger. Matthews up with it. Plays it around behind for Branton. Branton looking to go back to Matthews, and then it rolled in on net, and Peterson covering that one up. Good idea. There wasn't a lot of room to try and get that one through, but still a smart play to get it to Matthews, and kind of a little give and go.
Good plays down low by the Trojans. You got to think these first couple of shifts are very important to Wayzata's chances to get back into this game. Talked about their struggles in the first period this year. It kind of played out right before our eyes. They've been a much better second period team this year, and let's see if they can do that here tonight.
It'd be kind of been interesting to be a fly on the wall a little bit. There's a high shot, and that is in as it deflects. And Wayzata's on the board. Sammy Hackley taking the shot, and Peterson, kind of a helpless feeling as she's got a little sheepish look on her face there as that one deflecting, just a knuckle puck way up in the air and floating in over her shoulder. You see it hits the defender way out there, and just couldn't quite figure out what to do with it here as it really handcuffed her. And Wayzata fortunate that the player near the net didn't try and touch that one, or I think it was Urban, as she just let it go, and it drops in under the crossbar. And hey, you'll take it any way you can get it. Sammy Hackley scoring it for the Trojans.
We talked about how Wayzata outshot Breck, but it was a little bit misleading. Well, a lot of their shots came from the outside. If you're going to shoot from the outside, you got to get some deflections, you got to screen the goaltender, and that time they did a little bit of both. And that's what the kind of goals that Wayzata is going to have to score in this game.
Peterson still kind of chuckling a little bit about that one that got in. I mean, it's not fun for the goaltender, but it happens, you know. Sometimes it was just one of those where there's a little traffic around and you're not sure where it's going to go, and all of a sudden it's in. So we'll see if that one gives Wayzata a shot in the arm. It appears to have so far. Addie Hackley and Urban will get the assist on Sammy Hackley's very first goal of the season. The sophomore defenseman. So we weren't just trying to keep you around by saying there was still time for Wayzata to come back. They get into within 3-1. Carried by Ava Lindsay in deep, trying to slide it out front. There's a natural tendency to just relax maybe a little bit when you get up like that too. You know, you feel like it kind of came easy to you for a little bit of that first period, even though they obviously know Wayzata is a good team and all that. But nice play to retrieve that one. Sadie Lindsay this is. Trying to cross paths there with the defenseman. Now Ava Lindsay picks it up. Backhander, rebound is loose. Back out to the point. Here's a shot on net taken by Kleppinger, and a save made by Bergeron goes up into the netting.
What a tough break there for Wayzata. The Zamboni door gets him. You know, a nice little D-to-D behind the net pass, hits the door right where the Zamboni door opens, and the puck bounces right out in front of your net there, creating that scoring chance for Breck. So nearly a terrible break there for the Trojans.
Mobley shooting, and that one gave Bergeron a little trouble, but she makes the stop. Pass ahead to Matthews, just chopped away from her, and then a collision. Urban had to wait because Matthews had slid into the Breck zone. Addie Hackley back to pick it up. Here comes Branton. Penalty coming up. Things have been getting more physical, and Breck is going to be penalized as Branton was run pretty good there along the wall. I think we're going to have a checking penalty here. And this one will be issued to Allie Qualley of Breck. Could kind of sense it earlier in that shift that things were starting to get more physical, and she comes in and throws a bit of a check there.
And that looks like almost like a frustration penalty there, Jim. And the puck was long gone, and Qualley really hasn't had the kind of puck control she's used to having in the last few shifts. And I think that might have just been a little bit of a frustration, kind of taking some body contact.
And I think, you know, they were feeling that Wayzata was getting a little rough with them, so they were coming back at it too, because I know earlier in that shift, Ashley Halverson had looked frustrated when her stick was lost. Oh, a nice play to keep that one in, but not for long. Here's a chance now for Breck. Chance for a 2-on-1. Sadie Lindsay firing, and Bergeron the save. And Ava Lindsay retrieving it now for the Mustangs, shorthanded. She'll bring it back out to center and regroup, but then was going to be offside, so just gave it up. And then Ava Lindsay knocks it down and chops it right back in.
Excellent job done by Schindler on that 2-on-1, staying in between the puck and the net, and then forcing the ice to be kind of diminished from the puck carrier.
Back across, here's Mobley trying to drag it through everyone. Keep in mind, Breck is shorthanded right now, but you wouldn't know it. They're the one trying to attack the Wayzata net. Hannah Halverson couldn't get it around Scoro. Scoro is going to have to fling it in. Peterson leaving it to Zumwinkle. Banking it toward Mobley. Missed her, but they are shorthanded, so not icing. And good body work there by Sammy Hackley to shield off the Breck player, but then Mobley blocks that pass. Right back to Sammy Hackley. 25 to go in the power play here. Mobley had the steal briefly, trying to get it out. Branton up with it. That was a case where Mobley maybe a little too confident in her own ability there, had a chance to clear it, but wanted to carry it out instead. There's a tip-in goal for Matthews off Branton's feed, and it's suddenly 3-2.
Oh, just absolutely love this pass from Branton. It was the kind of pass that happens when you play with the same type of players and you have chemistry, because she didn't really look or see her. She knew where she was supposed to be. And that's where the play came from. It's like Matthews came out of that corner and Branton knew where her teammate should be. She doesn't even have a chance to look. It's just a great feed. Matthews gets her stick down on the ice, so important. And what a nice deflection.
24th goal of the season for Matthews, and a much different second period than the first so far. Here they come again. Addie Hackley will get the second assist. Here's a chance on a rebound. They score again. Heyer buries it. And we are even up at 3.
Oh, the Wayzata girls are feeling it here on senior night. And I'll tell you what, Wayzata, even before they scored that goal, I was about to comment just how much more puck confidence they had in this period. I mean, they were making plays leading up to that goal. Just a beautiful pass. Just moments before this goal, you saw Urban make a great feed. Puck goes to the point. They get shots on goal and crash net, get rebounds. That's the Wayzata way right now here in the second period.
32 seconds apart, those two goals come, and they have scored 3 goals in the first 5:36. Breck scored 3 in the first 5:36 exactly of the first period. Urban and Samley Hackley will get the assist on the 4th goal of the year for Heyer. Here's Mobley to the front. Oh, and the tip try just coming down the weak side. Ashley Halverson couldn't quite reach it.
That deflection again.
Back out to center. Hammered around as Breck heading off on a change there was Crawley. What a game this has turned back into here. Early on, Breck was dominant. They went up 3-0, and you kind of thought, well, maybe it's going to be their night. And Wayzata has come back very strong here in this second period, and 3 quick goals to even it up. Boy, even in your best case scenario for Wayzata, I don't know if you would have thought you could answer this quick with 3 like that, but they've done it.
No, I think the approach would have been, let's go out there and try to win this period so that we're in striking distance in the third. Here they are with over 10 minutes to go in the period. Tied up, new ball game.
Sadie Lindsay, that pass knocked away. Hackley getting it ahead to Matthews, and now here comes Urban up the middle. Chopped away, but it went right to Branton, and she fires, and Peterson to save. Defenseman actually made a nice play on that, but ended up just knocking it right over to Branton.
Yeah, but I always say when you're playing well with the puck, even when the puck gets knocked off your stick, your teammates are moving their feet and in the right spots. That's a lot of times what happens. Puck just ends up on your stick.
Yeah, and their timing in terms of entry of the zone was good too. So they were in the same plane where they could. That play ended up being made like it was a pass, even though it obviously was more of a deflection by the defenseman. Here comes Breck back the other way. They move the puck so well. Sadie Lindsay up the left side, drops it back to Ava Lindsay, but that one blocked away by Addie Hackley for Wayzata. Long pass ahead. Rama back to get it for Breck. Branton trying to trap it in there. Ellie Fornes getting a shift here for Wayzata and working hard, but couldn't quite regain control. Back out to neutral. Sammy Hackley will throw it right back in. Peterson stops it. Great hockey game here tonight. Breck number 1 in Class A. Wayzata number 10 in AA. Breck went up 3-0. Wayzata's answered with 3 here in the second, and now a penalty is coming up.
Yeah.
Battle along the wall, got a little too aggressive with it here.
Should be Ashley Halverson, came in from Breck and just kind of, did a no-no and pushed the player in the back, knocked her over, and Halverson makes the trip to the penalty box. It was a physical penalty earlier in the period that really helped keep Wayzata on the momentum. That's just not a smart play. I mean, she comes behind there, sticks kind of up in the back is facing her. She just has to make a play on the puck there rather than the player.
Whoa, and that one deflecting just over the net. It had a similar look to that one goal that went in for Wayzata, their first one. Back across. Here's Hackley firing. Pad save. They called Halverson for checking there. It could have been a cross-check for a couple of other things as well. Picked up by Mobley. Mobley trying to slide it across. Branton blocked that. Mobley trying to fight through Branton there. Qualley back out to the point. Here's a long one that sails wide. Kleppinger controlling. Rings it around as they were trying to finish up a change there. But then overskated. Higher out of there, Branton out of there with it. Knocked loose from her though at the line. That one hits the linesman. And dumped back in. That one may have hit somebody coming off the ice there, I think, on the way out. .55 to go here in the power play for Wayzata. Ava Lindsay jumped in to intercept that. Scoro bothered by Lindsay, but able to give it over there. Coffin's pass, bouncing ahead. And Allen trying to work that puck free. Instead, it's the Mustangs getting to it and flip back out to center. That would have been offside there, so Wayzata had to clear the zone. Only 15 to go in the power play now for the Trojans. Breck with a pretty good kill, at least up till now, but here's an opportunity up the left side. That one pushed wide. Shot there. Peterson gave up kind of a juicy rebound, but nobody around for Wayzata. Penalty is over. We're back to 5 aside. Boy, Wayzata's gotten very aggressive on the forecheck here. They just seem to be skating a lot better than they did when the game started.
And good decisions, too. You saw Sophie Heyer on the forecheck there. She got a little bit of stick, but not enough to get a penalty. She changed her angle. She kept on skating, but she kind of hooked the player just twice, but little tiny hooks that kind of obstructed the ability to get the puck out of the zone, but not enough to get a penalty. It was just a very smart, aggressive forecheck.
Off the draw, Trojans control it. Kleppinger intercepts it and banks it out. Mobley's pass got away though, and here's Branton. Urban dropping it back to the point. Addie Hackley a shot. It handcuffs Peterson. It was laying loose for a moment. Then Mobley picks it up. Mobley getting ahead of steam. Has a player cutting down the slot. Mobley goes down, and no penalty call that time. Here comes Branton. Back for Matthews. 3-on-2 chance for Wayzata. For Branton. Over for Urban. It got away. Branton trying to get control back. Puts it out front. Mobley knocking that down. And that shot sailing wide. And tipped to the line, but kept in. Schindler bringing it forward. That shot goes wide. Kleppinger throwing it back across for Ashley Halverson. Beyond her reach. Scoro with it for Wayzata. Push back into the Mustang zone here. Moss ran into a Mustangs player, but here's an opportunity. Oh, they sent it way across for a Dahlin, but just a little off target, and then she fell. Here comes Sadie Lindsay dropping it back. Hannah Halverson leaving it for Zumwinkle. Woo. That one about went through the glass as she blasted it over the net. And it rolls right out front. Lang there to get it for Breck, plays it behind, and again that one spot right below the Counselor Realty sign. I saw that happen again many times in the Wayzata Eden Prairie boys game.
It's changed the game.
That one deflects up into the netting, and we will get a draw coming outside the zone. Fast and furious second period here. Wayzata getting those 3 early goals to battle back from a 3-0 deficit, and shaped into, now just kind of a back and forth battle.
Jay, I don't want it to sound like hyperbole, but I don't think I've seen a harder slap shot than Zumwinkle just let go there. That was, in girls hockey, I don't think I've seen a harder shot than that. That was something. But yeah, great pace to the game. And Wayzata, the way that they've improved defensively since the start of this game and adjusted to the speed and ability of Breck has been very impressive.
Matthews looking to create a chance here, sends it back to the point and gets a return pass. Matthews, nice little drop off there. That attempt is blocked. Sammy Hackley couldn't quite keep it in, so she regroups at center. Playing it across here. Kleppinger up with it. Boy, they're just not, things came so much easier for Breck in the early going. Kind of all over the ice. Their defensemen now really being pressured. That first pass is never easy anymore, it feels like. Now here's Breck looking to get something going. Up the middle it comes. Qualley had Mobley cutting down the slot, but the puck got away. Now Matthews. Rink wide for Branton. Branton dragging it to the middle. Knocked down by Mobley, and back the other way they come. Ava Lindsay. Kind of a little toe drag move there, and we've got a penalty coming up against Wayzata, as Scoro will be called for a trip. Kind of got the leg out, I think, more than anything on that little toe drag move.
Well, it was just such a nasty toe drag that Scoro, we talked about good trippings and bad trippings, and 180 feet from your net, not a good trip. That one right there, Scoro believes, hey, I got to do something to impede her progress to score a goal here. Put it on the ref to see if the ref's going to make the call, but that was a nasty little toe drag. She had to make a play, and you don't want to end up in the box, but it was better than giving up a goal.
Yeah, and it was definitely a good call, too, and seeing it again. She willfully got the skate out there for sure. So, Breck to the power play, and let's see what they can do now as they've been challenged. They were feeling good early, but Wayzata's fought back to tie it up. Addie Hackley physical to win that puck, but Kleppinger will keep it in. Cross for Lang. Now Kleppinger's going to tee it up, and that one goes high and wide and then rolls along the dasher and out. Lang back to retrieve it.
How about the confidence the Breck coaching staff has in the depth of their team, though, too? They don't just throw out their top power play unit right off the bat to try to get this lead back. They have confidence in the second unit. And they haven't put up a great scoring chance yet, but just speaks to the depth that Breck has on this team. A lot of times you're going to get out there, I got a couple of star players, let's get them on the ice. They're going to bounce out here now with 1:08 to go in this power play. But
puck cleared into the Mustangs bench by Wayzata, so it's an opportunity if they can get a face-off win for Breck here. I'm sure they're thinking, let's go right after it. Qualley in there to take the draw against Urban, but it's Sophie Urban with a key win for Wayzata. And then it pops loose. Here comes Branton, shorthanded. Mobley chops at her, brought to the front, puck still loose. Oh, and there's a great stop by Peterson on Urban. Another try at it here is blocked. Wayzata taking their opportunity to nearly score shorthanded right there. And a little sloppy on the way out. Now Mobley comes up with it for Breck. Hackley swung and missed at it. Here's a chance out front, and the tip goes just wide. Wayzata almost looked like they thought they were going to have it cleared, and they relaxed a little bit. And all of a sudden, it was a little 2-on-1, and they were fortunate Breck didn't put that one away. Bank pass ahead and chopped loose at center. Under 10 to go in the power play here, so Wayzata has had a good kill. Approaching a minute to go in the second period. Penalty is over. Scoro is out of the box. The shot attempt from Moss was blocked. So under a minute now. The tip try here goes wide. Pass ahead. The race is on for it here. Hannah Halverson could not get it around Schindler. Now it's just tipped out of there by Scoro as it came out front. 35 remaining in the period. Ava Lindsay puts it out front. Hannah Halverson tied up. Penalty coming against Wayzata as she was hauled down there by Adalan.
Well, that's a tough break for Adalan because she's making the right play. She's come down. She realized her defense is in trouble. She comes down from the wing spots, covering the front of the net, the slot area like she's supposed to, and then the puck ends up on her opponent's stick, and she just gets a little overly physical. Like she's doing everything proper, everything great, and just leans on a little too much. And again, it's so difficult in the girls' game because in the boys' game, that's a great play. Girls' game, it's a penalty. There's a little bit too much body contact. So,
yeah, I ended up calling it a hook there.
I don't know if there's a hook.
Yeah.
Maybe a hold.
Under 10 seconds to play now. Breck, power play again, and it bounces loose. And we will reach the end of period number 2. So Wayzata storming back after trailing a 3-zip. 3-3 through 2 periods. We'll be back with more here on CCX.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
Back here at Plymouth Ice Center, Wayzata storming back to tie things up 3-3 through 2 periods. Steve Persian, the Breck head coach, joins us now. And your team got off to such a great start, and then they battled back at you, but it's been a great game overall. How do you feel about the first 2 periods?
Well, I think the first period, I like that one better than the second. They came out and they really took it to us that second period. It was, I think they had 3 goals in a 5-minute stretch, and we got outworked. And, we knew they were well coached. We knew they were going to come at us, and we just simply got outworked, and that's the result,
Team will have a power play here coming out of that second period. How do you feel about that aspect of your game and how it might impact, the third period of this one?
Well, I think it's a nice advantage to have. I think we'll talk a little bit about what we want to do. They have a certain system that they run, so we're going to see if we can take advantage of what we know, what we've seen in this game, and hopefully put one in.
Next up for you guys, the playoffs, obviously here. How are you feeling heading into Section 5, and what are the other teams that you feel might be competitors with Breck?
Well, we feel real good. I mean, this was a great game to have, and obviously we'd like to win this game, but we wanted to have a good, hard-fought game before we went into sections. We have Chisago in the section, we've got Orono, we've got Minneapolis, Holy Angels. I mean, there's some good teams in that section, and we expect it to be a battle.
Thanks for joining us, and good luck in the third here.
Thank you.
That's Steve Persian, the Breck head coach. His team had a 3-0 lead here after one, but Wayzata coming back hard in period 2 and tying things up. So it's anybody's game heading into period number 3. We'll continue with our live coverage here on CCX right after this.
Yo, Scott.
Hey.
I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Oh, you know what? I was just in there. The line is like 10 people long.
I think I'll just...
Dude, are you okay?
You wouldn't believe what I was just thinking. I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
Smart man.
Did you see how that dog was looking at me?
Fresh ice getting ready for period number 3 here. Breck leading 3-0 after one. Wayzata storming back with a great second period as we check out some highlights from that middle period here at the Plymouth Ice Center. Really felt like two very different periods. Wayzata came out with much more intensity. Fluky goal in the first one. Sammy Hackley's shot deflecting off the Breck player, and it just floats in under the crossbar. But that got them started 58 seconds into the period. Then the pass across, great three-way passing. Urban sliding it across there to Branton, and then over to Matthews for the tip and a power play goal. That came at 5:04, and it was 3-2, and they weren't satisfied with that. A rebound goal here as Heyer tracks it down and buries it. That one came just 32 seconds after the second goal, and that one tied us up at 3 apiece. And as I said at the time, ironic in that exactly 5:36 3-goal span for both teams, one in the first period, and then of course Wayzata coming back in the second. You see the Mustangs will be on a power play to begin period number 3 as Adalan is in the box for the Trojans. We will take a timeout and then come back and drop the puck for period number 3. Regular season finale for Breck. Wayzata has one more to go Saturday afternoon at Eden Prairie.
What are you doing in there?
What's that?
I wouldn't do that.
Welcome back here to Plymouth Ice Center. The coaches board there heavily used. 3-3 our score through 2 periods. We talked about the rankings, and these teams, you got Andover and Edina are up at the top as they've been. Eden Prairie, that's the team Wayzata plays. Trojans back into the rankings after their strong close so far here down the stretch at number 10. They were in earlier than they weren't for a while. Maple Grove actually trailing Edina tonight by the score of 1-0, by the way. And then you see on the other side, Class A, Breck and Warroad, 2 of the definite top contenders, certainly, and have been perennially very strong. So we're set to drop the puck here for period 3. We're underway. Breck again is on the power play to begin this third period. Olivia Mobley dropping the pass over to the left side. Now they look for Zumwinkle, but that one is off target. She'll have to go retrieve it. Back to Mobley. Swinging it ahead for Qualley, but met there. Nice job by Addie Hackley. Then the Breck pass off target. Matthews intercepting there. Mobley knocks it down at center ice. Mobley trying to gain the zone here, and she goes down as she collides with Branton. Trojans win control of the puck and get it out to center. Zumwinkle up with it. Back across, it hops off Mobley's stick. Mesner carrying it in, but chopped away. And nice reach by Kleppinger to keep that puck in the zone. Throws it toward the net. Matthews blocking that away. Half minute to go on the power play here for Breck, but looks like they're having a little trouble being sharp here in this first shift. And I think the ice is a little wet in some spots too, where we've seen it stick a bit. Here comes Eva Lindsay, but chopped away from her. Then the clearing attempt, though, blocked by Hannah Halverson. Lindsay playing it back into the corner. 5 seconds to go in the power play. And the penalty is now over. Wayzata back to full strength. Matthews bringing it up the right side there, but knocked away from her. Now it's Addie Hackley banking it for Branton. Zumwinkle gonna look to reverse that one around and got it to Lang, but stolen by Addie Hackley. Shooting in Peterson. A glove catch there for the Mustangs.
Well, it's interesting what a coaching staff can do when you enter a period on the penalty kill or on the power play for Wayzata. What they did is they brought Slow Matthews back to defense. She played a shift at defense, helped kill the penalty as a defensive partner to Addie Hackley, then jumped up to forward here. She's been on the ice. She's been off the ice for about 15 seconds so far in this period. She's been on the ice for about 2 minutes.
Back into the Breck zone and across to Zumwinkle. Knocked away, and Matthews, now Branton up with it as Urban with her, 2-on-2. Urban getting a shot away, but it was deflected wide. Kind of get the feeling here in that, most of the second period and early in the third that Wayzata's kind of the aggressor a little bit more here.
I agree with you, and I think the physical play and the way that Wayzata's able to do it without like emotion or frustration is kind of irritating to Breck. Wayzata's able to get kind of up in your space, make some physical plays, but not do it from an aggressive standpoint where they're getting called for penalties.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that they would enjoy a grittier game maybe than what Breck would rather see. Just a little more wide open skill kind of game would be to their delight. Puck controlled here, and the rising shot goes over the top of the net from Fornes. Now Peterson will direct that to the corner. Kleppinger up with it. Throwing it out to center where it's picked up by Schindler. Addie Hackley throwing it in. Peterson will glove that one and hang on. I don't think she realized that she really had a lot of room to move that puck, but wasn't going to take any chances. There'll be a face-off in the Breck zone here. 13:17 to go here in the third. We are tied up at 3. And again, if you were watching early and then maybe went away for a while, you might be surprised at the score, because Breck scored 3 goals in about 5.5 minutes to begin the game. But then Wayzata battled back to keep it at 3-0 through 1, and then scored 3 goals in their own 5.5 minutes to begin the second.
That's just going to be great for Wayzata's confidence as they turn the playoffs here next week, that when they're down by a goal or 2 or maybe even 3, they can now feel like they're always in the game no matter what.
It out front there, but chopped out. See if it'll have enough. Nope, not going to get there for icing as Breck. Zumwinkle back to gather it. And a turnover forced. It slides away from Branton. Back to Branton. She scores. Matthews dropping the pass over, and Branton buries it. Wayzata is in the lead for the first time.
Well, I'm going to make 2 points here. First, I love the pinch from Hackley. She comes down along the boards, takes the puck off Hannah Halverson's stick on that great pinch to keep Wayzata on the offense. And then look at these 2 forwards. They have caught my eye here since that second period. First, in the second period, it was the opposite, right? It was Branton who made the feed. This time it's Branton on the receiving end, and she goes top shelf up over the blocker. The 2 of them set each other up earlier. It was Matthews who got the goal in the second period. This time it's Branton. Excellent play by those 3 players from the Trojans.
Matthews will get the lone assist on the goal, the 22nd of the year for Branton at 4:26. So 4-3 Trojans. I'm thinking back to that first period, Joe, and I was saying things like, there's still a lot of time. I don't know if I believed it fully myself that they would have the opportunity to come back and, grab a lead here early in the third like this, but Wayzata has just fought back and really played a strong, even the latter part of the first period, and then certainly the second, and they're doing it again in the third. Bouncing puck down into the Breck zone. Coach Persian from Breck made a good point in that second intermission that, yes, obviously they want to win this game and want to win it pretty badly, but he felt like this would be just the type of game that would get them ready for the playoffs, win, lose, or draw in this contest. Here's Ava Lindsay carrying it in for Breck. And kept in right along the blue line, and the shot pushed over the net by Ava Lindsay there as Sadie Lindsay set her up. Another opportunity here, and that one sails high. Back out to center it comes and relayed right back in. And keep in mind, Breck, that it isn't terribly unusual for them to play some fairly high-scoring games, against some of these top-level teams. They just lost 5-4 to Maple Grove here about a week ago, so the more high-scoring, free-flowing type of games aren't necessarily a bad thing for the Mustangs.
And you go back to that play that, I'll wait for a moment here because this could be a...
There's Mobley with a rocket.
Didn't want to talk through what Mobley might be able to do offensively, but she settled for the outside shot. That tells you a lot right there that they're kind of... But I wanted to talk, here's the goal here. So look at the pinch and the turnover that's created. And then the body positioning, lose the puck there, but nice little just one-touch pass from Matthews to Branton. Those two players know where each other on the ice, no doubt about it. But Ava Lindsay sticks out to me too, freshman on that Breck team. She had a great scoring chance. She whistled one over the net, but the way she was able to position herself for that one-timer, the body control she had as she got and slid to her forehand as that puck was working its way to her. She's an impressive player.
Score to Branton, tried to get it to Matthews, but then knocked away. Mobley slides it ahead. Ashley Halverson carrying it in. Bothered there, got it down to the corner anyway. But then taken away, here comes Branton. Gonna dump it in and head off on a change here as Peterson stops it. 9:45 to go. Breck looking for that long stretch pass again here to Ashley Halverson. And this one on net. As a little slow to cover was Bergeron there, but got to it.
The puck gave her trouble because where it landed, it was up in the air and then it landed right in front of her, which is kind of a tricky play.
And I think that was definitely intentional too, to try and create a rebound. That little flick, almost like a short hop type of situation. Addie Hackley picking it up here for the Trojans. Able to push it into the zone. Ooh, and then turns with a slash. That's going to be a penalty against Hackley. And she got tangled up with Josie Lang and just turned and gave her a whack, and it was right in front of the referee.
Yeah, I talked about Wayzata being kind of a physical team without losing their composure. You see Hackley there, she just gets a little frustrated because she's getting her stick grabbed, and she just, it went on for quite a while. You don't want to slash in retaliation. You just wish the referee would have seen the hold, called it both, and let's send them both to the box. That's my preferred result out of that situation because it wasn't a small hold. That was a couple seconds. But yeah, I'm not a fan of the slash though. So that's, up a goal, you want to kind of keep your composure.
So Breck to the power play here, trailing it by a goal. Pass deflected, Mustangs able to come up with it. And then that one fanned on. Matthews had no stick, but still able to kick it over, and then they get the dump out. Long pass ahead onto the tape of Hannah Halverson here up the left side. Dropped it back. Branton broke that up, but it went right into the Wayzata bench.
This is a tough kill for Wayzata because their best defenseman's in the penalty box, and they slide Matthews back to defense to help kill this penalty. But the strength of this Trojans team is not back at their blue line, so they're trying to get through this penalty kill with their best defenseman, their best penalty killer sitting in the box.
Mustangs win the draw, but Granton gets to it and is able to clear it down the rink. Zumwinkle back to pick it up here for the Mustangs. Cross now, and here comes Mobley, who scored her 43rd goal of the night in the first period. Played in behind the net. Matthews is first to it and is able to get it out. Zumwinkle chases it down. Back to Zumwinkle now. Pass ahead there to Mesner, but ran into Matthews. And there's a nice play by Sammy Hackley. Wayzata just not conceding anything here, not giving him a lot of space. And that puck kicked free, probably fortunately so, because Breck would have had a little bit of a rush otherwise. Mallory Coffin carrying, shoots, a big rebound. Oh, and Peterson looks around. It looks like she's got it, no goal. As she looked into the net behind her for a moment there.
That's good fundamentals from the goaltender. Peterson makes that initial save and then just pushes hard with her left boot to slide over and make the second save. That just gets her body in the way. But I'll tell you what, I mean, you mentioned Wayzata not giving up anything. It's all about that blue line. They decided not to give Breck that zone entry that came so easy in that first 6 minutes of the first period. They are not giving up anything at that blue line now.
Puck tipped away. Lindsay now getting it to Hannah Halverson. Halverson into the circle, fires, and a nice stop by Bergeron there. Penalty time is over, by the way, so we are at 5 aside. And it's going to roll back down to Peterson, leaves it there for Lang. Whipping it across to Hannah Halverson. Looking to Ava Lindsay, but chopped loose. Matthews up with it for Wayzata. And she was bothered as that shot never made it to the net. Kept in at the point. Now it deflects over. Oh, and a swing and a miss there by Fornes. But Addie Hackley relaying it around behind. 6:40 to go here. Wayzata leading it 4-3. They trailed 3-0 in the first period. Flip to center, but it's behind the intended target. And here comes Addie Hackley. Shoots that one high and over the top. Chop back out. Trojans send it back in, but they have to get out. It would have been offside there. Ali Qualley carrying it now for the Mustangs. Could not get around Hackley. Now picked up, look out, it's Mobley. Oh, and off the crossbar. Near miss there by Olivia Mobley. Back to Zumwinkle, her shot deflecting way up high and over the net. Mobley came about as close as you could come to tying that one up.
Watch the release in this snapshot. It's a beautiful looking shot. I mean, that she sees the defenseman in front of the net, and you know, so many players there are gonna, you know, wind up or take a long wrist shot. It's all about the quickness and the speed of that snapshot, and she fired a good one. Inches away from tying this game.
Back out to Zumwinkle as they look for the tip. That one's sailing wide. And another one deflecting. Wayzata's got to be getting a little nervous. This shift has not gone especially well. Here's a chance out front. And Bergeron able to cover it. Apparently did not get in as they battle alongside the net. Another look as this one deflecting over. And then they keep the pressure on, put it out front. Mobley, the centering pass there. And
there's a moment there where Bergeron doesn't know where it is. She lifts up her pad, and then she sees the puck and quickly recovers it back up.
Yeah, if they keep them pinned in the zone as much as they have lately here, you don't like the odds of Wayzata being able to keep it at 4-3. As Breck's been all over him his last shift or two. Here's Matthews carrying it in. Now Matthews picking it up, gives it to Branton. Branton dropping it back for Matthews. Nice job cycling the puck here, and And able to just barely keep it in to Urban. Urban trying to turn the corner, knocked away. Pinballs around there briefly, thrown back out to center. Sammy Hackley. Hackley carrying it in. Fires the shot, and that one's sailing high. One thing you'd maybe like to see from Wayzata D a little more is that getting those shots on net and down a little bit. Carried back in. Here is Hackley firing, and Peterson the glove catch.
The Hackley girls are eating up some ice time here in this third period. You've called their name so often now, and they've had a couple nice rushes, but as you said, missing the net high, each of them. And the elder one right there doing a great job of holding blue line once again.
Higher shot went wide. Kept in here. Peterson will direct that one aside. Lang first to it. Higher falls and eventually carried in now by Sadie Lindsay. Lindsay throwing it out front. Puck was loose in the slot for a moment. And now trying to scramble and get it out. Trojans do gain control. And then it hops over Lang's stick. Wayzata looking to finish a change here. Carried in. Here's a chance. Sadie Lindsay had it jabbed away. And then it takes a bad bounce there as they just threw it to the sidewall. And then a turnover. Swing and a miss. Follow-up try here by Lindsay, and that one goes just wide. Hannah Halverson retrieving it for Breck. Played around here. Trojans looking to get it out, and they do so. Joust for it at the Breck line, and then picked up by Coffin. She'll slide it across to Scoro. She'll get over the red line and look to dump it in. You want to make Breck come all the way up ice if you can. Getting that puck in deep. And there's Sammy Hackley getting into the Breck zone, but not all the way in deep. Now the Mustangs will dump it in as it bounces off the back of the net. Sammy Hackley first to it. And she'll throw it out. Race there. Branton was trying to get to it. Now Mobley, look out. Mobley turning on the speed. Fanned on that one. Went to a knee but kept possession. Zumwinkel will keep it moving now. And that shot attempt was blocked. Under 3 minutes to play as it bounces up over the net. Branton can't get it by Zumwinkel. Her shot off the glove there of Bergeron. Mustangs trying to free it up, and they do. Looking to go back to Zumwinkel, but her shot deflected by Branton goes way up and over the top again.
Bergeron right there for the goaltender for Wayzata. You really need her to glove that puck and get them a whistle. They desperately needed that whistle. And thanks to Branton's effort to get out to the point there and block that shot, they got that whistle. But you'd like your goaltender to grab that puck, hold on, and get that whistle that was desperately needed from the Trojans.
Timeout taken here by Breck. Trojans Section 6 AA, and a little bit new this year. They've got the first round games are at home site, so they should have a home game on that the 8th of February, a week from Saturday, here at Plymouth Ice Center. Not set in stone, obviously, but and then back to parade for the semis and finals. And Breck no longer at parade for their section. They're going to be at St. Louis Park Rec Center, and the Mustangs. Let me see the dates for that tournament. There are a full 8 teams, so there's no bye in that tournament this year, with Armstrong Cooper dropping into Class A, and they're in Section 5. So not sure if it's a good thing or bad thing necessarily for the top seed, but Breck will have a first round game, which likely is going to be about any score they want it to be against the number 8 seed, but they will indeed have to play a first round game. But it's been fun kind of keeping an eye on the young coach Taylor Williamson, how active, how up she's been behind the bench, just in her player's ear, walking back and forth, kind of stalking that bench, giving instruction, giving encouragement, maybe chewing out a little bit here and there when needed as well. She has been active and into this game. I have a feeling that young lady will be out there quite a bit the rest of the game. Olivia Mobley here, her team down by a goal. Mustangs trying to get things set up in their offensive zone. Now puck turned over. Is that able to get it out? Pass ahead now to Moss. Moss turning back with it. Now we'll get a shot, and Peterson the save.
It's interesting what the right hockey play was, helped her open up an opportunity for her, because the right hockey play is just to dump that back down in the corner, but that's where all the Breck players went. They all expected her to backhand it into the corner, and then all of a sudden she turns the corner and walks right down the slot.
The Urban, Matthews, Branton line out there now again for Wayzata, and obviously they like to have them out there as much as possible. Mobley throwing a little bit of a check there.
That's a only 2 minutes left in the game, no call type of no call there.
Branton will relay it right back in, and obviously they're able to keep Breck's goalie in the net here too by continually getting the puck back into Breck's zone. We'll keep an eye out. There's a chance here for Breck. Mobley's out front. Oh, and it deflects wide. Then the centering pass. Peppinger rip. Goalie is out now for the Mustangs. An empty net for Breck. And they'll take a shot at it, but it's going to be icing instead against the Trojans with 1:24 to go in the game. Watch Mobley cutting down the slot, and then the deflection is off her skate. And then just getting the stick out on it there was Bergeron. And that one would have counted. It was just off the skate of Mobley, not a kick at it, I don't think there. And now Wayzata is going to take a timeout as you get a look there at the young goaltender Peterson, been brought off for an extra attacker.
Yeah, interesting here. Coaches have to make their own decisions here. In this one here, I let the clock go. I don't want to call a timeout here, because now Breck gets to rest their top players, and I would take my chances letting them play fatigued for the final minute and a half rather than call a timeout, but we'll see. I mean, you can call a timeout here, design a play, but basically the new thing with an empty net is you start taking your shots. These kids are so talented now that once you get that puck on your stick, it's worth going for it to shoot it into that empty net, because it seems like when you try to make an outlet pass or try to make another type of play, it just ends up in the back of your net. So don't be surprised to see Wayzata, when they get possession, let it fly.
I hope Dan Ficken's not watching from Madison, who does much of our color commentary, because he hates it when people ice the puck in a spot just like that, shooting at an empty net.
I think it all depends on how good you are at the face-off too. If you're a strong defensive team who can win face-offs, I just like the organized part of a face-off more than the chaos of not getting it out. So I'd say go for the empty net, try to get it game over, and then I like my chances on a face-off, but I like to coach my team up and have them ready for face-off defense. I haven't had my heart broken yet, though, on one of these plays. We'll see. Could change my tune here in a moment.
Wally and Urban facing off here. Key draw. Played to the corner. Matthews is going to get there first, and she's able to get it out, and it's off the official skate. 1:15 to go. Breck down by a goal. Extra skater on for the Mustangs. Sent out front, and that one knocked down. Branton then does a nice job controlling. Branton at the empty net will miss it, and another icing. Now there's a case where she definitely could have taken just one more big stride and then taken the shot at the net.
Oh yeah, yep, that one right there's that one Mr. Ficken would have all the rights in the world to be upset with. You got to grab that red line, and they were giving her the red line a little bit too,
So both teams have already used their timeout. And Wayzata's Branton coming up with it. This time able to get it into the Breck zone. Here come the Mustangs. Hops over the stick of Urban. Look out, Mobley has it. Mobley's shot goes wide. Thrown out front off the skate there of Urban. Breck keeps it in, but not for long. Sammy Hackley playing it forward. Not going to get a shot on net, but got it all the way in deep there. 20 seconds to go, but here's Olivia Mobley. And sails it wide. Wayzata trying desperately to hold on. Zumwinkel's shot deflecting up and out of play. 11 seconds to go.
Something Wayzata's done an excellent job here in this third period as block shots. And there you saw another big one.
Boy, this draw is enormous. A clean win for Breck, and they should get a good opportunity, but instead it goes to the wall. Hackley trying to get it out. They joust for it. Branton pushes it over the line. Branton for the empty net, missed it, but it's not going to matter. Wayzata hangs on for a big 4-3 win here on senior night. Joe, it was kind of hard to picture that scenario happening when the game started 3-0 Breck in the first 5.5 minutes. But Wayzata, great perseverance and a lot of smiles, including on the coaching staff.
Yeah, and depending on how the rest of the season plays out for these two teams, this could be an impactful game where, like I said, Wayzata, there's not a deficit they're going to face now the rest of the year that they can't come away with some kind of faith that they can come back. And for the Breck Mustangs, what a good eye-opener to have this happen to them. If they take the right mentality out of this game, it's, hey, when we are up 3-0, it's time to keep on pushing because you never know what can happen. And Wayzata fought back, and Wayzata showed just a different side of them here tonight with that comeback. That was a great victory for the Trojans.
Quality win, to say the least, for Wayzata. They jump right back into action Saturday afternoon against a very good Eden Prairie team. And for Breck, next up is that Section 5A tournament. Best of luck to both of these clubs as they head into their respective sections. Should be some good section tournament play. Well, we hope you've enjoyed this one, and I don't know how you wouldn't. A 4-3 comeback win for Wayzata here tonight at Plymouth Ice Center. For Joe Moline and all of our crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. Good night from Plymouth, where Wayzata takes a 4-3 victory over Breck.